Look, I'm on live video. Give way. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people on my video. And don't come near me.
What's wrong exactly? He's never around. Is he stressing over something? It's just not like him. Or something's up. Why don't you let me go over there, hang out and cheer him up?
Cheer him up.
Yeah, like a pool party.
Oh, no, pool party's definitely not a good idea.
Why not?
He's not really swimming much, I think.
So we won't tell him. That way he can't say something.
Nice. I think he'd like to do that.
He'll love it. You want to see him back to normal, don't you? Hi, Dr. Bailey. It's Evie. How are we going to get these powers?
Oh.
Nothing has worked. Trust us and his friends. You have to trust us and we work together to get rid of them. We tried being close to him and it didn't work.
It wouldn't. We just got interrupted.
He's never going to trust us enough to tell us his secret.
When are you gonna get anything that's working out? Was he a clam? How's he gonna admit anything to you? Of course. He's gonna love that. You won't know it's
Hello, thank you for joining me.
Why didn't you talk her out of it? Like you never talked Evie out of it. It's never been disappointing.
Okay.
So it's all on me.
Can you hear me now, though?
Like the truth, mate. You're joking. No, I'm not joking.
Can you hear me now? I hope so.
Keeping something from me. And how long has she
Abdul, so sorry for your loss, eh? Sorry that your monkey escaped. Sorry for your loss. Is it your pet?
got what she's planning?
Mohammed Efekile. Okay, I am a mama, but I may not agree to being hot mama. Okay, but thanks for, if it's a compliment, thanks for the compliment. Timmy, in which country are you that you are addicted to beer? Maybe today we will talk about beer as a nutrient. Beer, is it a nutrient or is it just something you consume for pleasure? What does it add to your health? Timmy, are you in somewhere like Belgium? I think there are the people that love beer a lot. Almost every family there has a brewery. How does beer make you feel? I like beer too. Don't get me wrong. I drink it once in a while. I like Heineken. What's your brand of beer? Timmy, what's your brand? Timmy, what's your brand of beer? Kingfisher. Kingfisher. Is it a UK brand?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's Abdul Soul that like Kingfisher. You like Kingfisher, and you love Corona too. Who like Stella Artois? I like Heineken. Avagina. Lorena, my name is Ijoma, and the channel is Brain Foods. I am not Lorena. Maybe I look like a Lorena, you know. Hello, Avagina, Brito, Lorenco. Is it Lorenco? Yeah. My name is Ijoma, and this is Brain Foods. Brain Foods is a nutrition counseling outfit. Oh, Brazil. I am from Nigeria, but I'm speaking from the UK. I am in the United Kingdom, but I'm originally from Nigeria. I am a Nigerian. Nice to meet you. It's so good to, interact with someone from Brazil. Yesterday I went to receive an award at London, and because there is this event going on, and there was a Brazilian show. There was one of the Brazilian representatives at a parade, at a carnival. They came to perform for us, and it was beautiful. Thank you too. Catch it. It was such a beautiful show, Virginia. You needed to have seen it. Oh my goodness. We all enjoyed it. I wish I could share. I would have been able to share it. Really, Pablo? You don't call my country a nuclear reactor. What made you think so? Why is my country a nuclear reactor? It's the best place to be. Trust me. Trust me. It's the best place to come from. Very beautiful landscape, very beautiful people, happy, friendly, lovely. I wish I could show everyone how nice. Everywhere has its own flaws. We are not the worst, but we are good. I mean, the beautiful part is way, way, way more than the ugly part. It's everywhere. Every place has its own good, bad, ugly. No exception. Okay. Please, I'm from a beautiful place, not a nuclear reactor. So we wanted to address nutrition, and we are talking about beer. We will just take it like a whole as alcohol. What does alcohol do to the body? Of what good is it to the body? I don't understand. The YouTube is asking me to reply. Hello? Okay. I probably don't have to talk about so I don't know who is typing that. Oh, you are looking at my shirt. Oh, well, at the beginning of time, when the conditions started becoming more rampant, a school of thought actually thought that it could be because there is another condition known as alcohol syndrome. So a lot of people were mistaking it to be alcohol syndrome. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you. So a lot of people were mistaking it to be an alcohol syndrome. Yes, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. But subsequently, people began to realize that it was very different. It was very, very different, meaning that it had its own causes, it had its own peculiar characteristics, and it has its own spectrum. So it was a spectrum where you had people who were on the high spectrum. Like right now, we have children who can hardly function, children who are non-verbal, who cannot use their limbs, who cannot even, comprehend their environment. But there are also children who can actually speak and speak fluently. They speak such that people around them actually feel they speak like they comprehend higher than their age. They verbalize things that their age could not verbalize. And these are the ones that are higher on the spectrum. And then it was also realized there are children who are in between. Even though they speak well, they interact well, they learn well, their social interaction remains a problem. The level of comprehension or just understanding situations were always so different. So it was now defined as an autism spectrum disorder. So people now know that every child on the autism is different. When you meet one child on the autism, you have met only one child on the autism. And if you meet any other person on the autism, it doesn't mean because you've met this one, you already know about this. Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today we know that this is a very serious condition because a lot of people, a lot of children, the rate is so high. It used to be 1 in 10,000. Now it's 1 in 32. Some people are even proposing 1 in 10. So it's becoming so bad. And what we are saying today is that it has a lot to do with nutrition. It has a lot to do with nutrition of probably just not the child. It could have also been improved also by the nutrition of the mom. So this is what you see. What I'm wearing is actually a kind of an awareness program. Yeah, it was an awareness program organized by this bank. This is a bank in Nigeria. So I used to be a facilitator in that program where we help people in the community understand clearly what this situation is. Number one is that the environment is such that a lot of people tend to blame the parents for what is happening to their children. This has brought up a lot of stigma, and this is making a lot of parents to hide their children. And once you hide the children, the child will be frustrated and the behavior will be escalated. And when the behavior is escalated, the parents also get frustrated. So nothing is happening. The child is frustrated. The parents are frustrated. The society is looking down on the household. Everyone is, under bondage for more like it. So, but today, with so much awareness, with a lot of people coming out to admit to it, and people like us telling others that, look, it is not your fault. You didn't do this. I mean, it wasn't because of something you did or something you didn't do. And even if it is about something you did, it's done already. There's no point regretting it. There's no point, living in the past when actually you can start supporting the child to make something better out of his or her life. So instead of investing in regret, why don't you invest in, intervention? Why don't you invest in supporting this child to be something better out of life? The truth is that a lot of people tend to feel that once a child has a disability or a challenge, that there's nothing else that can come out of the child. I am not talking about UK here. UK here, every child is given equal opportunity. In fact, some children are even given more opportunity because they cannot help themselves. But in, third world countries, somewhere like maybe where I'm coming from, it is still a big issue. It's still a big issue, and the awareness is still on. Parents are being encouraged to accept what has happened to them, what has happened to their child, and instead of living in regret, invest in supporting these children to be better. So tonight we are more or less moving away from what we wanted to talk about to create this awareness and to say, if you know someone, you have someone, you've come across someone, you are working with someone, you take care of someone who has been affected by autism, you should, first of all, understand their challenges. And their challenges most times is that a lot of people don't get to see that they have challenge. A lot of people feel that they are just being difficult. And when this is happening, everyone around is angry with the child. But at the same time, the child or the adult does not even understand why you are angry. Because to them, they are just being themselves. They are just living their lives. Just like you feel you're living your own life, they are also living their own lives. So at the end of the day, the person who thinks the child is misbehaving is frustrated. The child who thinks the adult does not understand him is frustrated. So, but if all of us should take time and educate ourselves on what this autism is, how it affects people, what it looks like in people, like what is it that if you notice in a person, it shows that the person is probably on the autism spectrum. How do I manage it? What are the ways that I could apply to make sure that certain situations do not escalate? So if we try and understand all of this, it will be a better world for all of us. At the end of the day, we all own this world. Nobody owns it more than the other. I know a lot of people will be like, if they can't cope, let them be isolated. If they can't cope, it's not up to 2 weeks ago, someone was saying, if they don't cope, they should be locked away. That's a very bad, that's not a good statement at all. Especially when it has to do with a fellow human who has as much right as you do on the face of the earth. So, Mohammed Ali, I don't know what autism is. And, well, still, I don't know how to answer you. But if you're listening to me, I will just ask that you desist from, putting up such demands or making such statements on people's lives. Number one is demeaning, is embarrassing. You don't see a woman talking about autism and you are coming to ask whether they are big. What is big? What do you want to see? I am very sure if whatever you're looking for, you know exactly where to get them. If that is what you want, you know exactly where to get them. So I would ask you, please do not put forth such things here. This is a decent space, a space where we create awareness about neurodevelopmental challenges. We create awareness about nutrition. We create awareness about how food can support mental health. The name is Brain Foods. Brain Foods for Gods. It is, as the name implies, it is a food you eat to support your brain through your guts. I really appreciate everyone. Can you tell Chime to get off this stove? I really appreciate everyone joining me tonight. And just as we talking before, autism is a spectrum. Autism spectrum disorder. So a lot of people will ask, how is nutrition and autism related? Yes, nutrition and autism are related in the sense that emerging nutritional sciences are proving that our state of mind is intricately regulated or supported by the state of our guts. And this theory is the theory of gut-brain axis. Gut-brain axis is just telling us that whatever happens in the gut can affect the mind. There is a strong connection between your guts and your mind. And that is why a very old adage was saying that a hungry man is an angry man. So what it says is that when you are hungry, you can just become angry. And when you are full, you are happy. So that is like one, an insight into how your tummy controls how you think, how you feel, your mental health. So gut-brain axis is trying to explain to us today that whatever you put in your tummy is affecting the way you think, the way you behave, the way you live. Eventually, you are what you eat. You are what you eat, in the sense that the way I break it down is that food is like a raw material you use in building your body. So if you're eating the right raw materials, your body will definitely come out right. If you're using the wrong raw materials, it will reflect in the nature and the quality of the building. So when it doesn't have to be the leg, the hand, the brain, the eye, the organs, just give the wrong raw materials and the building will come out wrong. So tonight, if not anything else, please let it be, stamped in your subconscious that whenever you are consuming anything at all, you're going to have to ask yourself, how is this going to impact on my overall health? And then maybe this is going to be a topic for another day, but what are those particular foods that would impact on your brain function, that would impact on your mental health? It's been a long time. We all know that people say if you eat banana, it makes you happier. If you eat things like berries, it makes you happier. Have you bothered to know if this is true? Have you bothered to find out if this is true? So looking back to these things now, have you wondered what are the ways these things happen that make them actually affect my mental health? So it's a broader topic. I wouldn't want to go into it because this life is only for 30 minutes. But I would like to have an opportunity to talk about it. I would like to, create another opportunity to be able to expatiate on the impact of what we eat on the brain. But tonight I just want to, you can go out with the fact that we have a second brain in our guts. We have a second brain in our guts. And this is where we come into things like microbiome, enteric nervous system, vagus nerve. So it's saying that your stomach is connected to your brain through a vagus nerve. But the most interesting thing is that your stomach can function, disconnected from your brain. Like what he's saying is that they can make their own decisions and take their own actions without consulting the brain for decision. It's like saying your stomach can decide to do things on its own without consulting the brain. and that is why we call them second brain. My son asked me the other day, does it mean I have a second brain in my stomach? It is not like a brain, it's like a system. This is where the enteric nervous system comes in. And tonight again, you go home with the fact that 80%, Kenechukwu, you go home with the fact that 80% of our immune system are actually connected to our guts. I know that in all kinds of exam, 80% is more or less excellent. 80% is an excellent mark. So tell me, if it comes to immunity, if you can take care of 80% through your guts, do you think you're going to be, proficient? Like, you're going to be fine, perfectly fine. We're not talking about 20%. We are not talking about 30%. We are saying 80% of your immunity depend on your guts. So within your guts, you can actually take control of your health just by optimizing your gut health. And how do you optimize your gut health? Nutrition. Eat the proper nutrition, balance your microbiome, seal up all the broken holes, repair it, balance the microbes that live there, and you are good to go. And this is where you are going to be needing the support of professionals. And we are here because we have discovered the impact it has on children with autism. We have discovered that they get, it's like someone is saying, where have you been all my life? They get so, they kind of start recollecting. You see them looking around like, I haven't been this conscious in a long while. And the best part is that the first thing we begin to notice is that the hyperactivity is going or is gone. A child who is supposed or who was hyperactive, as soon as you can address their gut issues, you begin to see a child who can sit quietly in class, who can now listen to the therapist, who can comprehend what the therapist is saying, who can follow instructions. Usually they are talking about one-step instruction, two-step instruction. You begin to notice a child who can follow 3 steps instruction, 4 steps instruction. So without being able to sit still, a child will not be able to listen, and when they cannot listen, they cannot even absorb. How can you absorb what you did not hear? And then subsequently, the receptive language is developing, and then the expressive language develops. So we are saying nutrition has remained a basic foundation, that whoever needs to work on children with autism, you need to get their nutrition right. And how do you get brave heart? That's beautiful to hear. If you have autism, it's not a bad thing. It's nobody's fault. You can actually be having a superpower people will not know. And those are kind of some of the myths around having autism. A lot of people will just say, oh, you have autism, it has superpower. But it's usually not true. It's not always true. About 20% of children with autism also have things like intellectual disabilities. So if a child has autism, it's not a take that they have superpowers. But I'll be happy to hear your story, Braveheart. I'll be very happy to hear your story because, as you can see, I am passionate about the cause. I am very particular about supporting individuals on the autism spectrum. It is my dream, and it is something I've been doing for the past 9 years. So if you want to tell me your story, I'll be happy to hear it. So back to what we were saying. Autism has a lot to do with nutrition. If you don't know it before, you know it now. We have a lot of, processes that explains the connection, and we have a lot of nutrients that supports recovery. We have a lot of protocols that could be used to restore other forms of nutritional intake, other forms of nutrient absorption, other forms of nutrient utilization, which eventually would improve on the symptoms, outlook, behavior of people with autism. So, Braveheart, if you would like to reach out to me, you can just drop me a message on the comment of this program, and then it would be nice to even work with you to create this awareness. Thank you, everyone. I intended spending 30 minutes, and my 30 minutes is up. Hopefully, we see again tomorrow, and we continue. It is a process. We will continue talking. Even if it's one thing you learn in a day, it makes a whole lot of difference. It makes a whole lot of difference, because by the time you learn how nutrition can affect your mental health, it doesn't just end on people with autism. Anybody can use it. You could learn that certain foods could support you during depression. Certain foods can support your anxiety. Certain foods can support you if you're just going through, maybe a hormonal change, a period of hormonal change that is affecting your emotions. And it is also good to know that certain foods can actually cause you to have mood, fluctuations. And certain foods can still help you to battle that mood fluctuations. There are certain foods that will help you to support your microbiome, that will help you to synthesize some nutrients that would help with your mental health. So stick with me on this channel, and as much as possible, we will be coming live to talk about this. If you have any questions, you can always drop it. Abdul, I'm not going to answer that. It's not in my area. It's not my expertise. I'm not a freedom fighter. I am just a mother trying to improve the lives of children with challenges. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate your time. I do not take it for granted. If you have other needs, I wish you well in finding where you can get that support. But tonight, I am supporting those that have nutritional needs that affect their mental health. Thank you so much, and see you in the comments as much as you can. I appreciate you. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.